we have a big rivalry this week on this podcast, especially between Max and Zach, but also Jesse has kind of adopted Wisconsin as his Big Ten team, and I've kind of
on Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I've kind of adopted Wisconsin because obviously Max is one of my closest friends. Obviously I'll root for my friend Zach, but Max came first. I just want to let you guys.
Never heard of Penn State.
Obviously, I want you guys to kind of talk about the game real quick before we get into the rest of the podcast. So I'll let you go first, Max. Even though you are, the biggest San Jose State fan that I do know, we also have a Wisconsin. You have a lot of ties to Wisconsin as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this game's going to be interesting. I mean, I think the better team is Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin's got, I think, both more talent on offense and defense, frankly. I think Wisconsin has the second best offense in the Big Ten this year and the second best defense, both behind Ohio State probably. But Penn State is a nightmare matchup for Wisconsin every single year. So I think that all bets are off. I think Wisconsin's beaten Penn State once since 2007. So it's the kind of thing where it's like the nightmare matchup. They usually have a lot of speed on the outside. They can usually run really fast. They can usually do all the things that Wisconsin's not great at defending. So I think it's kind of a toss-up game. I think I give Wisconsin the edge just because of the home field, but it's tough for matchups. I'll say that.
As they would say on PTI, toss-up!
Yeah, I think it genuinely is.
Zach, James Franklin, hot seat?
I don't think it's a toss-up. So I actually disagree with Max in that sense, but I do agree with him as far as the game outlook goes. I am, as a Penn State alum, expecting this to be an L. And to be honest, I think there's a legitimate chance that they start the season 0-2. I really do think that Ball State is a game that's being overlooked, especially with the whiteout the following week. They're not overlooking this game, that's for sure. But unfortunately, I think they're going to lose this game because Sean Clifford is going to overlook a receiver or two and throw it to guys in red and white and not blue and white. I think my season outlook for them, keep it really brief.
That Montana Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Zach, give me a favor. Zach, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Put your phone on the Wi-Fi real quick.
I think he was on the Wi-Fi.
While he does that.
Oh no, I am on the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
It's just Montana Wi-Fi, Jeremy. You remember that?
Is it better now? Is it better now?
A little bit.
Okay. Where did I cut out?
We heard it. It was just jumbled.
Yeah.
All right. Is it like fine now?
Yeah.
Yes, you sound much better.
All right, Jeremy, take it out. When do you edit it?
No way. You leave that in.
Leaving it in.
No.
All right. Well, we're leaving it in. Take is still the same though. They're going to lose the game Saturday. In general for the season, they're going to lose to Ohio State no matter what. It just doesn't matter. They're just going to lose to the Buckeyes. Franklin's going to lose them a game this season, and Clifford's going to lose them a game this season. I think Clifford loses them the game on Saturday. I think Franklin loses them the game at Iowa, second week of October. And then Ohio State, like I said, Ryan Day is just a better coach. And frankly, he's the best. He's right up there, a top 5, maybe top 3 coach in college football right now. So, I mean, they're going to go 9-3 this year. And I think it starts with the loss to the Badgers on Saturday. Kind of a close back and forth game for 2.5 quarters. Penn State might even go down in this game. I could see them going down early and kind of doing their little comeback, but just come up short deal. It's going to be Clifford throwing an interception at the worst possible time. I'll put it to you this way, right? The Big Ten Network guys, they went to all 14 camps, and obviously it's their job to kiss everyone's ass and compliment every team and talk about how great they're doing. They actually were pretty critical of Clifford when they visited Penn State. When they said that, that's what raised red flags for me. They're not even allowed to criticize Big Ten teams when you work for the conference network. And the fact that they said they need, hopefully they'll get better quarterback play and things will get better by the start of the season, that was concerning to me. And if, Jerry DiNardo and the guys on BTN are saying that, then he can't possibly be playing well. And I think the season will go as he goes, and it's going to get off to an 0-1 start.
I was going to say, this is I think Zach would agree with this, and this is such a cliche in football in the modern age, but I truly think whichever team gets better quarterback play is going to win this game, just because you need good quarterback play to beat Wisconsin. I don't know if Wisconsin has been beaten by bad quarterback play in the last 5 years. So you need good quarterback play to beat Wisconsin. And I think Wisconsin this year needs good quarterback play to win. And I think I have a lot of confidence in Graham Mertz. He's the most talented.
It's not Stavi anymore. Where's Hornibrook?
Hornibrook's
long gone. Put it on the poll. Where's Hornibrook?
Where's Stavi? Yeah, where's Stavi?
Stavi hasn't played there since like 2014, right?
Exactly. No, he played there in 2015. He played Chris' first year. He was the starting quarterback. But
Corey Clement?
Where's Russ?
Corey Clement, I think he just got cut by the Giants.
What do I put choice? Do I just say yes or no for where's Hornibrook? That's what. Where's Hornibrook? Yes.
I want to know where Stavi is. He was my Heisman favorite back in 2016.
He's got to be a high school quarterback coach.
His brother was one of the basketball coaches for my high school.
Wow.
Stavi.
Love that.
Cool.
Joel.
He could have taught Jeremy a thing or two.
Speaking of players that don't exist anymore in the realm of NFL or quarterbacking, let's move on to Bishop Sycamore. And
I had a Big Ten take, but I just, you can just move on.
Max and I have the same opinion of the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that a 9-3 Franklin season gets him fired.
I don't agree with that, by the way.
Why, Jesse?
Here we go.
Because Penn State has standards.
We like hot seat talk.
That is the standard at Penn State. When have they gotten better than that?
I don't know. Like,
when have they gotten better? They aren't getting better.
They're losing. I mean, I think Wisconsin's gonna be better than them this year. I think, he's not getting fired for. They would have to miss a bowl again to go. For him to be on a real hot seat. I don't think Sam him anytime soon. I think if anything, there's been a long-standing rumor if Clay Helton got fired and SC opened up that James likes the bright lights, but would they hire him? I don't know. That's at this point, it's more likely that he leaves than that they would can him. That it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but
Harbaugh's want to fire him. I'll tell you that.
Harbaugh's going 5-7 and getting a raise.
I have no issue with that. It's fine by me.
Neither do I. I think it's funny. See him trotting out there in khakis, acting like they're gonna win games. It's really great.
My favorite is this like puzzled, like confused face. Like, like
it was even better with the weird mask combination that he had last year.
That's when things go wrong for Michigan and he makes his like face. That's peak Michigan football. That's where I just smile. You just have to smile.
For those listening on Spotify, Zach crossed his arms and frowned.
Bad radio.
Yeah, bad radio. Before Jesse hijacked the show and continued the Big Ten football talk because he loves talking Big Ten football.
These are my favorite things to talk about: Big Ten football and Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore, fake high school. A lot of people
allegedly fake high school.
A lot of people on their Twitter account are really coming to their defense, and I'm really enjoying it. And now they're coming out with merch. I might buy a T-shirt. I don't know. They're asking for opponents for week 5 and week 7. So if you're a high school football team out there and you want an opponent for week 5 and week 7, they're ready to play. First, I'm going to go to Max once again, and I want to get your thoughts on just this whole situation.
Okay, so I actually went back and watched the whole game.
What?
It was on. I don't know if it's still on. It was on the ESPN website still. Like, when you can watch past games that were broadcast on ESPN, it was still on. I went back and watched it. It is shocking. Everything that you've heard about it, every little highlight you've seen or anything, the play to play is so much worse than any of the highlights. Watching their quarterback out there, and then their quarterback got injured because he got sacked on 9 plays in a row. And then they brought another guy in who apparently wasn't good enough. So then they brought 2 different defensive backs in to play quarterback at points, which was just an amazing move. This whole game was insane. This story is insane. insane. I can't get enough of it. Every new update is so much fun. I love this story so much.
So I'm going to take the reins here. So yesterday I read like a full-on expose that the Athletic did about it. So number one, if you have an arrest warrant out, probably not the best thing to do is go on national television. Their coach had an arrest warrant, and there he is on national television. So that was crazy. And it was for domestic violence. So, of course, that's the guy that they hired to, lead the kids that were actually like 20. Apparently they were switching helmets on the sideline. Is that correct? Yep. Switching helmets. And
none
they
of them
played
had like matching face masks either. Like some were red, some were gray, some were black.
They were in they played on Thursday or Friday, I think. We think that's what happened, but we're not sure if it's the whole team. But yeah, they started.
There's a picture on Twitter of their fake school. It says fake school. It's from Trillian Harris. He says at Bishop Sycamore, quote, fake school. And there's like a bunch of elementary school people in this picture.
So apparently this has been a long running scam in Ohio. If you haven't read this story, they had a previous name. They've been scamming hotels and stuff for years. The Ohio Athletic,
including the one this weekend.
Yes. They have scammed like the Ohio Athletic, High School Athletic Association or whatever it's called, has known about them for years and has been trying to like get them off the map. But they somehow still got on ESPN, which is the most amazing part about this. And then when Dan Patrick tried to get somebody from the team on his show, they asked for a booking fee. So basically what it seems like that they're doing is that they're asking for these schools to pay them to come play and pay for their hotels. And instead of paying for the hotels, they're pocketing the money. It's
just the coach. The coach is just pocketing the money.
Like the school president guy.
The coach is pocketing the money and using it for himself. That's why he has an arrest warrant out.
No, the arrest warrant's for domestic violence.
And for fraud. There was one for fraud as well, is there not?
Too, yeah.
I'm not sure it was
one that became like public knowledge was the fraud one.
I think that there's just lawsuits out for that, but it doesn't matter. It's all hilarious, and except for the domestic violence. But the whole story is just ridiculous, and I can see how it happened because ESPN has over 100,000 hours of live sports.
You listened to Skipper on the Levitar show the other day.
Yes, I did. And they're not going to really pay attention to this high school game. And so at the end of the day, it's funny.
Zachary?
I admittedly have not been paying as much attention, but obviously have been aware of what's going on as Max and Jesse. It's just like, I can't wait for the 30 for 30. Two, it's just like, it's the Fire Fest of high school football. What amazes me is that, I was impressed with the way Anish Shroff handled it on the broadcast on, was it Saturday? Sunday. I was kind of impressed because I would be so mad as a broadcaster if you just kind of realize mid-game, this team is completely fake. So I'll give Anish props because he handled it kind of in the best way you can. After realizing, I'm calling a game between a top 5 national team and a bottom 5 national team. And honestly, I'd rather have a 6-man. I'd rather have a 6-man squad out there against IMG than Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, those 6-man kids have heart.
Yeah. We need to get some swag. Jeremy, you need to get some swag. And I also think that you tweeting that you're the official play-by-play voice of Bishop Sycamore would just get some love. I think it's a sign. You got to tweet it out to the people. The people want it. You got to give it to them.
Okay, I will do it after the show.
I wonder if I wonder if Santan Charter, the 2A school in Arizona that I call games for, it's like the lowest division of AIA 11-man football. I wonder if they would beat Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore had athletes. I will say that, they had athletes. They just didn't have skilled players. Like, here's my
They
thing.
didn't have plays. They don't practice.
Yeah, they could probably beat your average, like below average college or high school football team. They could probably beat them just by doing like run play, seat outside and stuff, because they do have good athletes on their team. It's just when you're playing IMG, it's going to be exaggerated. All of your issues are because IMG is essentially a college football team. I mean,
So
they could compete with D1 college football teams.
also IMG could have won that game like 100-0 if they had wanted to. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, they completely stopped trying in the second half. Like, not just taking out their starters, they just like weren't running plays. They're like, F this, let's just get out of here with no injuries.
So yeah, they took out their SEC players and put in their MAC and Sunbelt players.
Exactly. they had their running back is going to Penn State. He was pretty good.
How about that?
I don't know
was
if he could because he was playing against a bunch of random 25-year-olds, but
Who was it?
I don't know. It's whoever IMG's starting running back is committed to Penn State.
This is great radio, Jeremy. You want to move on?
Yeah, college football.
Woo!
What a great
Football.
Katron Allen.
Can we talk about week 0 and how much I like week 0?
You love week 0.
Football.
It's ridiculous.
Week 0.
You find a team that you root for the rest of the season, Jesse, every time. This year it's UCLA, apparently.
No, it is not. I'm not rooting for UCLA. I just think UCLA is a sleeper team.
No, you think they're
very good running.
They're not gonna make a bowl this year. They're not gonna make a bowl.
Jeremy, picking them to finish 4th.
Not gonna make a bowl.
Jeremy, picking them to finish 4th in the Pac-12 South does not equate me to making them a good team. They're not a good. They're a decent Pac-12 team that might win 7 or 8 games.
That describes like the entire Pac-12, other than like U of A, USC, and Oregon, though. Like the entire Pac-12 is just like, oh, they could go 8-4, or they could go 5-7.
Well, I think Arizona State's going to win the South.
You say that every year.
No, this year I really think it's going to happen.
I don't.
The boy who cried ASU in the Pac-12 title game. Jesse Morrison, everybody.
Every year.
I also think that USC is losing to San Jose State this week.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
I think Keaton Slovis. I think Keaton Slovis is the most overrated, overhyped quarterback in the country, and maybe in the history of college football.
I think we're really touching him.
He's a 3-star recruit.
Yeah, but he's good. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are really hyped that aren't good.
Nine picks in 8 games last year, or something like that.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's good.
I'm gonna throw out a 5-7 record projection for UCLA.
Me too. I already did.
That's a bit low.
No, it's not.
And then
it's
you guys are gonna like my ASU projection. I'm going 9-3.
Yeah, they have a pretty soft schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, incredibly soft schedule.
Mm-hmm.
If they can beat USC, they're winning out in the regular season. And Utah.
Yeah, I don't think they can though.
I just gotta ask this: have you ever watched an Arizona State football season in your life?
I don't think he remembers
opening games.
I don't think he remembers 2014 when they lost in Corvallis in the rain. They had a chance to go to the college football playoff.
You wasn't a fan or a journalist yet.
Like, you don't understand this. We perpetually lose to teams that we're not supposed to lose to.
I mean, you can't.
I know exactly. Believe me, I covered last year's team. Granted, they played 4 games, but the first game they should have beaten USC, and they lost in a ridiculous fashion at the end of the game. Just like, it was shocking. That was
inexplicable.
It was a shocking loss. And then they lost at home to UCLA. Granted, that was probably because they had missed the past 3 weeks. And then they were like, okay, we're just going to put 70 up on our rivals. So they make no sense as a program. However, this year, I think they're going to turn the corner. I'm going to say that. I'm going to die on this hill until I'm wrong.
Yeah, you haven't watched ASU football your entire life.
You haven't watched
You've not watched it your entire life. Fraud alert.
I just remember Brock Osweiler just being Brock Osweiler out there a lot.
Exactly.
How about the year where ASU started off like 5-0 and lost their last 7?
That's the season that Jeremy was talking about, I think.
No, that's the Todd Grant.
The Dallas season was the season when they had college football playoff hype.
Yeah, the
When they were like-
5-0 season was Todd Graham.
But this roster is substantially better than that one.
Not than the college football playoff one. No way.
Other than Bama, they have the best running game in the country.
That is like the biggest stretch maybe in the history of
Have you seen? Did you watch? They had a guy that averaged 10 yards a carry last year.
That's an all-time
In 4 games.
Yeah, but who says he wasn't going to continue that?
They don't have a top 10. And I'm not discrediting their run game. I think their run game's great. I think it's the best run game they've had in a long time. I don't even think it's top 10.
I think Jesse, I think about half the SEC would beg to differ. I think maybe the entire SEC West.
You guys want me to go game by game, score by score?
Iowa State, and you got schools like, I mean, you got.
I'll just tell you that
you have UCLA. UCLA has a better running game than ASU.
What? No, you're so wrong. No way. ASU is the best running game in the Pac-12. Best in the Pac-12, hands down. They have a three-headed monster back there.
No.
So does UCLA.
No, Jesse. You're forgetting about a certain team that has 1,000 uniform combinations and plays in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
Who's their running back?
Verdell. We still got Verdell.
Yeah.
Still? That guy's still there?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I mean,
okay,
they're good.
Verdell's better than anyone on the ASU active roster. I'm sorry.
Oregon is colossally overrated. They're gonna win the North, but they're colossally overrated.
I don't think they will. I'm going Huskies. Let me give you a Pac-12 title game. Jesse's head's going to explode. But give me the Huskies and the Utes in the title game.
God,
Washington and Utah.
You watch that.
What do you say, Max?
That would be Big Ten football.
Max said you could pay him to watch that.
Except it want to be Big Ten football.
The final score,
Washington and Utah. And I think ASU loses at USC, at Washington, and then they're going to lose another game that nobody expects. And the one that strikes me as the one that nobody expects is a late trip to Corvallis to take on Oregon State.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's every year.
I have 9-3.
Bad.
Watch out for that game versus the Cougs too.
Didn't Oregon lose last year to Oregon State?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or they lost to Oregon State last year. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They lost to Iowa State. Looked like Alabama against Oregon.
That's why. That's why Zach picked the Huskies to win.
You know who also, by the way, has a better running game than ASU? Iowa State, and it's not even close. So
do you guys want? You know what?
I don't want to go score by score, but I'm
not going score by score. This is another bold prediction that I have. Iowa State winning the Big 12, going to the playoff.
You've been saying that since last year when you covered them. I've noticed that Jesse has very big.
Say it every year and hope it's right. I mean, it's
no. He covered Iowa State in the Tostitos PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
I think it's got a new sponsor.
The Pfizer Moderna lacrosse tournament Fiesta Bowl.
Correct. And every time that he covers a team and he likes their quarterback because they have moxie, he wants to pick them to go to the playoff. Like he picks Grant Wells and Marshall to go undefeated and win the Heisman. Like it's just whenever he watches a game from start to finish, he's like, "This is the team. I'm behind them 100%, and that no one's gonna stop them."
So here's
put it on the poll. Is Jesse our generation's Bill Walton? He watches a game, and after that game, those two teams are the greatest two teams he's ever seen.
That really is what Jesse is like.
Jesse.
There goes the Montana Wi-Fi.
Put it on the poll.
I'm putting it on the poll.
If the Wi-Fi's not on.
It's the Montana AT&T.
No. See, there's a lot of college football. There's like 40 games on every week. I can only watch a certain amount of college games.
And you're not doing it right.
No. Let me get to this. So therefore, when I watch a game with Marshall because I like the name Thundering Herd and I enjoyed the Matthew McConaughey movie, then what'd you say?
Great uniforms too.
Oh yeah, great uniforms. For some reason, they make the green and black work.
The black is really, really sharp on those.
Yeah, and so therefore, and they're like they're like not Morgantown, which Morgantown like gets a lot of hype as a great college town, but like I don't know, everybody hypes it up, so I kind of choose the other West Virginia school. So
not a fan of Huntington.
I've never been to Huntington, but
I can't say I have either. Don't plan to either.
I plan to go to a Marshall Thundering Herd football game at some point in my life because
where do you fly in?
What'd you say?
Morgantown.
Where do you even fly in?
The Pittsburgh airport. The Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania airport.
And then what? 3 hours?
It's like 2.
All right.
You connect to Pittsburgh, and then you. Can I ask one more ASU question, and then I promise we'll move on.
Yeah.
All right. 45-point spread tonight, but the total is 55. Why?
Hit both. Now here's the thing. I am an expert on Southern Utah football here because they played San Jose State last week, and I can say this with definitive, like
with certainty.
This is the worst defensive football team I've ever seen in my life. This Southern Utah team is. Go watch the highlight tape from their game against. Like it looked like they're like pee-wee kids out there. Like,
can ASU get to the over by themselves? Can ASU score 56?
I think they can.
Will Herm stop things at 45?
That's the question. Now, here's the thing though, is he might. That's like the one like thing that you have to work on is Southern Utah. They looked bad on offense, but you can tell there's something there. So they might get a touchdown or two on ASU. So you are counting on ASU scoring a lot, but I'm definitely taking it over.
Are we getting a little teaser on the caps locks, a little pre-caps locks on this one? Cap, what are we getting here?
Bad radio. I'm raising my eyebrows. So
no,
I might be teasing ahead.
Your eyebrows being raised because you were frozen. You could just hear your voice and like you were kind of shaking a little bit there.
Probably
also,
looks like I was having a seizure or something.
Yeah.
Yes, I might be interested in going to Tempe tonight. Well, not me literally, but my bet.
Okay, good.
I wanted to go to the most important game in the week, and that's University of Miami and Alabama. It's the biggest question in all of football. Will Alabama cover the spread?
No, they won't. Or yes, they will. Alabama will definitely. I thought you were asking me if Miami would cover the spread. No, Miami's getting absolutely torched. And also, it's not the biggest game of the weekend because we have a game with playoff implications Saturday night on ESPN, Georgia and Clemson. Go Dogs. I want Dabo to get absolutely torched in that game.
I'm not going to say that one of those teams is my pick to win the national championship, but they are. And it's not Clemson. So,
yeah,
really?
Is it Miami?
You don't believe in Ualege?
I do. I just believe in Georgia more. I think Georgia.
That was the worst attempt at his name I've heard in some time.
What is it?
Ungagale.
Ugagale.
Uagalele. I want no part of 19.5 in the Bama Miami game. I don't know either team coming in. Bama is so many guys, so many new guys on offense. Miami, I have no idea what they're going to be. That's such a stay away. 19.5 is a dead number. Like, no, I want no part in that. Maybe you look at the total 61. I mean, maybe you want the over there, but no, thank you. I want no part in that game from a spread standpoint.
I was looking at like my potential parlay for the weekend, and I was sitting
there. Take the money line.
I was sitting there like I always like to take Bama to cover the spread because no matter how good everybody like prepares for them to be, they're always better. But first year starting quarterback, I know he's going to be great, but
he's probably going to win the highest.
I just need to see him play one game before I rest a parlay on it. I'll say that.
Is it the best thing to do, like, to look at the best FCS or, like, lower FBS opponents and then just, like, pick them to cover? Like, that game when, Illinois or somebody that's not – or Nebraska plays a team that's, like, not that great. And then
don't say Illinois. Illinois is going to be ranked this year.
Burt Bielema.
They do have a lot of
what happened to Lovey? What happened to Lovey's beard?
Okay. So now
It's funny that you bring it up, Jesse, because I think I'm going to take UTEP to cover against them this week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the games will end up being like 28-17 or something.
First of all, best cover, I think, in my opinion, this week, Fresno State, Oregon. It's a 19.5-point spread.
I'm with you.
Fresno State is a lot better than that. That is disrespecting Fresno State.
I will say this about.
I agree.
Plus, Oregon's got Ohio State next week. You think they aren't looking forward to that game? I mean,
I will say this about the Miami game. The last thing I have to say about it, Miami's got 2 linebackers that were converted from safety that weigh 205 pounds. So the run game is going to be fun for Alabama. Let's just say that.
So when I was in Miami visiting Jeremy, I was reading up on all of the sports because they got the Sun Sentinel delivered to the door still. Like
Shout out Mallory.
Shout out Mallory.
The actual newspaper. And so I would just pour through all these Miami related articles every day because I love a good sports section. I mean, who doesn't love a good sports section? And yeah, so I was reading the beat writer for the Canes, and he was talking about how they moved their safeties to linebacker. And I was like, yeah, this team's not going to be very good. But then Jeremy and I turned on Miami Sports Radio, and they were talking about the Canes pulling the upset.
Nope.
okay, are we getting to my top 25 here?
That's what I was just about to say. Max.
Jeremy, do you have the sounder queued up?
Yeah. Let me get it for you, Jesse.
Ooh.
You're the host.
I have to play it from my phone. It's a little difficult.
You could just add it in post.
There you go.
There you
Come
go.
on. All right.
We got
put the
to look
sound
great,
here.
though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna add it in post.
Okay, well, I'll just do it with my voice. All right, Max, let's see if I can count this year. Number 25.
Here we go. The Illinois Fighting Illini.
Da-da!
No.
Here's my thing. People don't know how good of a coach Brett Bielema is. He has never been bad anywhere he is.
Arkansas
Don't
was
lie.
terrible.
He won 8 games at Arkansas. It took him to 3 straight bowls.
I think
They
Arkansas
were way
would make
better
a
with their
difference.
other coach who got the scandal. I forget his
Yeah,
name.
and then look at what's happened afterwards. They've been awful up until last year when they are just kind of mediocre. Brett
Number
Bielema-
24.
San Jose State Spartans.
Da-da! Number 23.
The Arizona State University Sun Devils.
Da-da! Number 22.
University of Mississippi.
I'd forget their nickname.
Ole
Da-da!
Miss.
Rebels.
Rebels.
Ole Miss, yeah, that's right. But you got to like what people say, like
Rebels.
Go Dogs, Hail State.
Hotty Toddy.
Yep, howdy toddy.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
Hotty
Number
Toddy.
21, Matt.
Go Lane.
The Cinderella stories of last year, Coastal Carolina.
Sean Tuck.
The Chanticleers.
The Santa
Thumbs
Clauses.
The Santa Clauses. Number 20.
The Indiana Hoosiers.
Do
Da-da!
they still have that lefty quarterback?
They do.
Yes.
He's back.
Throwing motion
Penix.
I've seen.
Phoenix.
It's all about that Penix, baby.
Phoenix. Number 20.
Number 20.
It's not number 20.
21.
Nope.
I just gave you 21.
19.
Nope, you just gave me 20.
Number 19.
All right, so this is a little bit of a hot take. They might be a little underrated in some people's eyes, but last year they had the most talent they're going to have in a long time, and they still were a disappointment, is the Florida Gators.
Da-da!
That-
That's so. I hate that, Jerry.
Number 18.
The Miami Hurricanes. Speaking of
Oh
them,
God. You.
They'll be out of the top 25 by week 4.
They'll be out of the top 25 by week 2.
they're 18. I'm kind of like thinking they could like win 8 or 9 games, like, but they're
Can I just say they're very obviously ranked so that they can bill Miami and Bama as a ranked game, and then they're going to drop right out until they play the Knowles, and then they'll be right back in.
Number 17.
the Penn State Nittany Lions.
We are. Nah.
Number 16.
The LSU Tigers bounce back season.
Go
Go
Tigers. That's it. That's going to be an exciting game also.
Versus
Number
UCF.
15.
The Texas Longhorns. Coaching can do a lot, and they actually have one of the, if not the best running games in the country. So
For our Spotify audience, Zach and I believe Jeremy at the end there flashed the horns down.
Horns down.
Yeah, and I'm throwing the penalty flag too because 15-yard penalty now.
15-yard penalty on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? What number are we at, Max? 14? Number 14.
a team I am actually very, very high on. They've got a tough game week 1 versus Indiana, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
I'm very high on
Not the best team. Not the best team in Iowa.
They aren't. I agree.
Number 13.
The about to lose this week on their home turf, USC Trojans.
Big 12 eyeing expansion with UCF and a few other schools. Just that just got my that just broke, and now I've forgotten the number. I think we're at
2 hours ago.
Does it piss you guys off that the USC band plays the same song the entire game?
Shouldn't for Jeremy because Florida State
does the same thing.
Penn State has at least got like 3 different ones. I don't know what ASU has, but
we got a lot of.
When I watch
ASU has like a bunch of pop songs from the 80s.
Also, you can't hear ASU's band in the stadium because they suck.
They're very quiet.
Whoa, low blow.
Oh, no. ASU's band is terrible.
It's the pride of the Southwest.
Top 5 marching band in the country.
not for
Jesse. We don't know what list that is. We can't hear them though.
They've said recently ranked in the top 5. They've said that for like 6 years.
Yeah. We don't know where. We don't like. You can't hear them. Their halftime shows have never been great. Their pregame show is the best part.
They got the explosion.
The explosion march, I will say, is quite impressive. But other than that,
they're forming.
How do you think they compare to Bishop Sycamore's band?
Well, they're probably better than that because I bet Bishop Sycamore doesn't have a band.
Manti Taylor's girlfriend.
But they pretend to have a mean one.
Manti Taylor's girlfriend is the Bishop Sycamore's conductor for the band.
There you go. Number 11.
12.
Yeah.
I thought we already did 12.
Nope. We did 13.
Something never
changed. It's hard to count down.
Some things never change.
Number 12, the Oregon Ducks.
Yep.
Quack.
Great mascot.
Number 11.
Number 11, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wisconsin.
W's down. I actually love Madison, and I have a soft spot for the Badgers, but I just can't root. I can't root for them in week 1 here.
Understood.
Number 10.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Captain Jack's leading them all the way this year. Captain Jack.
Yeah,
every year.
See,
I think
Max
Captain Jack's ship is going to hit an iceberg.
Now they got Captain Jack, so they're all good this year.
I thought their quarterback was going to be so good in the NFL. Where is he? How's he doing?
Well, Ian Book is worse than Captain Jack, so.
Well, Fighting Irish, I thought that's offensive.
No, it's just not. Number 9.
Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yes,
Bearcats.
Max, I love that pick.
Go Cats.
Should have made the playoff.
Team. Not my American team.
We should have made the playoff over Notre Dame last year.
Yep.
Yeah, you've been riding that take for a full year now.
I will continue to ride.
No, that's just Jeremy stealing the take from me.
No, it's just the right take.
Yes.
Number 8.
The North Carolina Tar Heels.
Ooh.
Oh,
Explain
yourself.
Why 8?
Why 8th?
Yeah.
Quarterback. That's all. I mean,
Tech's
really, they've got an easy schedule, and
they got 65,000.
How worried are you about their game tomorrow night?
Yeah.
They are at Virginia Tech, 6
Yeah,
o'clock Eastern time.
They got 67,000 at Virginia Tech.
They get to come out to Sandman and try to conquer that.
Howell's good enough.
Okay. 5.5 point fave. I think the line is dangerous.
I have Howell as a top 3 Heisman this year. I think he's gonna live up.
Would you be laying the 5.5 on the Tar Heels tomorrow night with confidence?
No. I would say not with confidence, 5.5.
Yeah, what about a total of 64? What do you think there?
Yeah, I'd go. Over.
You'd go,
No way. No way Virginia Tech scores that much tomorrow.
Okay, well then I'd take the 5.5 then.
No. I think that it'll be like a 28-24 game.
which would mean the Hokies cover.
Yeah, sure, but I think
I wouldn't take Jesse's advice on that though, Zach.
Tech is going.
No,
he's
Mike Francesa. I'm going to take what he does and do the opposite.
Okay.
Virginia Tech is going to pull the upset tomorrow. Virginia Tech is going to pull the upset tomorrow. It's the first time that a lot of these guys have gotten to experience a full house inner Sandman.
Might be nervous.
We are going to take 1 week. We're going to take 1 week in this college football season for Caps locks, and I'm just going to do the exact opposite of what Jesse says for every game. We're gonna try it out at some point. We're gonna wait. It's gonna be like an October thing, but content down the road for you people. Let's go to number 7.
Number 7, Jesse's team, the Iowa State Cyclones.
Woo! Clones are in the New Year's Six conversation.
I think they're gonna be in the New Year's Six.
Brock Purdy.
They'll be in the New Year's Six. They'll barely miss the playoff. I think
one of my favorite guys in college football, Brock Purdy. He's a big jungle guy.
I like Brock Purdy.
Number 6.
What does big jungle guy mean?
It means he's part of the Jim Rome jungle. You know what the Jim Rome jungle is?
Just checking. Just wanted to make sure you
number 6. Number 6, please.
6, the Texas A&M
Aggie.
I know. I've blinked a second, but yes.
Gig 'em.
Go Jimbo.
Good again this year. I don't really think it's going to be a thing where they have an argument for the playoff this year.
Also, Zach, I don't hold on, Zach. Also, if that was a supposed racist joke, Brock Purdy's a white guy.
Nope, no, it wasn't. It was you. It was you. It was alluding to you, knowing that Brock Purdy has a lot of hair because you're on your knees for Iowa State. So that was the joke. That's what we were trying to get at. You might have to cut that out. I don't know if that's appropriate for Spotify. might have to take it out. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way, but just that you. This is
all right, number 5.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Keep going.
Take it out. Take it out.
No, don't. No way. Keep going, Max.
Leave it
4.
Number 4.
Take it out. Leave it in. Pfizer Moderna lacrosse tournament.
Who's number 4? Jesse, I need
Oklahoma Sooners. I just told you.
Jesse's muted for about 10 minutes.
Good.
Number 3.
The Clemson Tigers.
Number 2.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Wow. And
number 1.
And Max's number 1 team in the country.
I think the Georgia Bulldogs are the best team in the country.
Wow.
And by the way, if you ask me my Heisman pick, it is JT Daniels. So.
Wow. Big USC guy.
He escaped USC to go win a Heisman at Georgia.
Jesse, you're unmuted. What is this?
Muted myself. Yes.
What is this Lewis Hamilton thing?
Oh, you guys didn't see that?
What happened?
No, I can't say I did.
I watched it and I was like, okay.
So Lewis Hamilton is a Formula One driver, probably the greatest of all time. He might be the greatest driver. He might be better than Andretti, like overall driver of all time. But yes, so they were on the radio talking to him, and he said, "Oh my gosh, that guy or there was just a bomb in the toilet in the bathroom." I thought it was funny.
Okay.
And that was Lewis Hamilton talking about
poop,
bowel movements.
I like anything that involves poop talk, so I always isolate those sounds.
Jake Paul fight.
Let's move on to the Jake Paul fight.
And that was the Jake Paul fight.
I mean, Jeremy's the host here. I'm just waiting for him to
Okay.
Maybe go back to hosting.
Here are my thoughts on the Jake Paul fight. I think that Woodley decided that he was just going to be there for a paycheck. And that's what happened. He didn't want, he tried to knock him out in the 4th round. And then the rest of the fight, he decided that he wasn't going to be aggressive. And it was just Jake Paul throwing some punches, getting the numbers up on the punches thrown, and punches landed. and Woodley didn't really do anything for the rest of the fight.
This is moderately reckless speculation, but definitely think that fight was rigged.
People saying that it's not rigged because if you saw Woodley's past 4 fights, he's been doing the same thing where he just isn't aggressive. That's how they're. Yeah,
it was rigged. Come on.
I didn't think it was. I don't know. I think Jake Paul's actually pretty good. I don't think he's a bad boxer. I don't think he's a great boxer. But I think that he needs to fight an actual boxer.
Yeah,
for me to kind of make that decision.
He has a jumbotron on his pants.
I think, well, I'll tell you right now, I didn't watch a second of the fight, and I'm never going to pay for a Jake Paul fight, but seemed pretty obvious to me. What?
Who said I paid for that?
You paid for it.
I'm sure people do. Oh, I'm sure people do. You have to make money somehow.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be on Showtime. But who said I paid for that?
No, I know. I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying, basically, in my mind, I don't think it was on the level. I really don't think it was on the level. It seemed a little fishy to me.
The prelims were great. I had a great time watching the prelims.
Did you pay for the fight?
Yeah. We're just gonna move on from Jake Paul fight. I look forward to see who he fights next. I hope it's not Woodley again. LPGA. Let's go, Max.
Solheim Cup this week. My favorite event of the year. It's the event that got me into the LPGA at first. The 2017 Solheim Cup was really the first time I ever watched. I've been hooked ever since. So it's the United States versus Europe. If you're familiar with the Ryder Cup, this is the LPGA version of the Ryder Cup. I always think it's the most energetic golf event of the year. That includes the Ryder Cup. The energy that the Solheim Cup brings is amazing because the people are actually likable that are playing in it. And they bring a lot of energy. The crowd brings a lot of energy. It's kind of like a cult following for the LPGA. So like when they get the chance to like really, really show like how much they love it, it goes crazy. This year's teams on paper are very uneven. I mean, the United States on paper should crush Europe, but Europe has a lot more experience. They've got a lot of chemistry together. They've got some great pairings. I think this is going to really come down to the final day, which is singles matches against each other. And I think the U.S. just has too much talent to lose on the
USA.
So I do think the United States will win in a very exciting Solheim Cup.
USA.
USA. USA. USA.
I think we were all chanting on a different cadence there, which just really worked.
Oh, I just didn't say anything because I knew it was going to make it worse. Montana Wi-Fi.
I'm excited, Max, for this. And I'm not excited for the Ryder Cup because it's stupid. Because I'm on your side now. PGA Tour is getting in the way of itself. Okay, what the heck is this going on with this Bryson thing? You can't yell Brooksy. My gosh, like how soft are we gonna get? Like,
I somewhat get it because people are yelling stuff while the other player is hitting and stuff like that. Like it's to protect also the people that Bryson are playing with, who are just innocent bystanders who have nothing to do with it, and their game shouldn't be impacted. But what they need to do is, if they're going to shut this down, they need to tell Bryson to cut the crap and just not do all the antics. Like, how is it so hard to understand that he brings this all completely on himself? It's not like it's just random that people, chant and heckle him. I mean, there's a reason why. It's because he does all these crazy antics and stuff, and then expects it to happen.
Can I counter to that?
Go ahead.
This is exactly what the PGA needs right now, and I'll tell you why. Bryson, whether you love him or hate him, and some love him, he's bringing a lot of attention to the sport. People are watching because they like to see him lose the same way that people watch the Yankees and the Cowboys. I think he is becoming that guy for golf. Obviously, it is different. He's an individual versus they are teams. But golf needs that guy that draws in fans. And the fact that that was the biggest sporting event going on Sunday afternoon is a massive win for the PGA. Even if Bryson was acting like a jerk, even if the conversation turned about fan behavior, the fact that there was a conversation being had about the PGA on a Sunday afternoon where we're going right into football, the fact that they're even being discussed, I think is a massive dub for the PGA.
I agree completely with you. My issue is that they're trying to just play to Bryson and not embrace it all. They're trying to play to Bryson. Oh yeah, do whatever you want, but the fans can't chant this. So if the fans want to chant, they can chant. Or if they want to shut it down because they want all of the other players, which is fair enough, then they got to tell Bryson, hey, you're the reason they chant. That you can't just do this and then act like you're the victim the whole time. That's what makes him a bad villain, is he wants to always act like he's the victim. And also, frankly, he doesn't close out events all that great always. I mean, what would make Bryson a great villain is if he would have been yelling at Cantlay to stop walking, if he would have been twirling his club, if he would have been getting mad at the fans, and then stone cold hit a long putt to win. That's what would make it really great.
Yeah, that's what would make him the Shooter McGavin that I think the PGA wants him to be. The PGA needs a Shooter McGavin that people watch, and then you have these guys that come up. I mean, granted, Bryson did get pretty unlucky that Cantlay was able to putt the way he was. I mean, it's literally record-setting putting. But I just think they need a guy like Bryson, and the PGA is leaning right into it. But I see where you're coming from, Max, and they shouldn't just, wrap him with a warm blanket and should say, hey, tough luck on some of these things.
They need a lightning rod because ever since Tiger, they've had way too many boring, nice guy, great players. Spieth, Rory. I mean, they're great guys. They're likable. You want them to win. It's just, who cares really? I mean, they're boring. I mean,
my thing though is that Max is this huge LPGA fan. And when I've watched the LPGA, there's legit stars. I think the PGA Tour is lacking star power right now. So what they're going for is just this feud. And now the feud is just being paused for the Ryder Cup. Like what? Like, it would be so epic if they could keep the feud going during the Ryder Cup. And you'd have the two, the United States competing against Europe. But, there's also this, feud between the guys on the U.S. team. That would be way better. So,
who's to say that won't be the case?
They said that they're pausing their feud or something.
And frankly, Stricker isn't going to put up with anything. I kind of know him personally. He's not going to put up with anything.
Wow, name drop.
Wait. What? Story time.
Well, yeah. Okay. Here's the thing.
Bryson personally, or Koepka personally?
No, Stricker.
Stricker. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not one of the two big ones, but no, I went to middle school with Stricker's kids, so I've met him a couple other times outside of that, but
nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah, great guy. I mean, he was voted nicest guy on the tour 20 years in a row.
You gotta love NASCAR and golf and sports like that, where they have awards for nicest guy on tour. And
I think tennis has one too.
They don't necessarily have nicest guy on tour. They just do a Golf Channel or a Golf Digest survey of players, asking who's the nicest guy on tour.
They don't have a sportsmanship award. They don't have a Lady Bing trophy for golf.
They have the Shane Stewart Award, which is essentially the Walter Payton Award for golf. So that's
Got
it. Jeremy, who's getting all these notifications?
Zach.
It's me. I'm sorry.
Zach, Jeremy, are you texting? What's going on here?
No, I'm texting a Penn State friend about the game I'm going to.
Yeah, can we? With the class. No, here's my question: is there a person on the LPGA tour that is the Bryson of the LPGA tour?
The Bryson, I would say no, because I think everyone's pretty likable on the LPGA tour. There's not.
I feel like they're not egotistic.
Yeah, they aren't. They all support each other. They all like each other. They all they all celebrate with each other when they win. They all congratulate each other on social media. Everyone just kind of likes each other. It's a great vibe when you're watching it because of that.
I don't know if I like that though.
I don't like that.
That sounds a little everybody's trophy to me.
It's good vibes. It's just really good vibes when you watch.
No, I don't. But then it's like, do they even care if they win or lose, or they just like out there?
It's like Ted Lasso. You might not get in conflict, but you're gonna leave it happy no matter what happens.
Yeah, okay, I can see that because I love Ted Lasso. So yeah, but one of the reasons why I love NASCAR is because there's all those feuds. Like, yes, I agree that sometimes lap 150 has a lap 150 is not great. It's just going in left turn. But, when the guy gets out and throws his helmet at another car, that's
fantastic.
But here's the thing. There's so many sports with rivalries. There's so many sports with feuds. There's so many sports with whatever. Sometimes you just need something nice to watch. Something
I agree.
And when I need something nice to watch, I put on Arrested Development or Seinfeld or something else.
Don't even get me started on that.
That's what you think is nice to watch? Like,
yeah, Arrested Development is like the most. Arrested Development and Seinfeld are like the most cynical sitcoms of all time.
Seinfeld, it's funny though. Like, it's
but we're talking about feel good here, Zach. I'm on Max's side now.
When I need feel good, I watch Tom. Jesus, when I need feel good, I watch Tom Rinaldi. Mid sneeze.
That'll be our intro.
I feel like I've been hit by a train every time I watch Tom Rinaldi.
But you feel uplifted because it's like Henry Ruggs is going to go to the NFL in spite of his friend who died in this really horrible accident.
Well, unfortunately, while I think the Big Noon Saturday pregame show is good, I still don't watch it because it's not as good as Game Day.
All right, a couple things to put on the poll here. Do you feel uplifted when you watch Tom Rinaldi? And another one is, has Jesse's ice drinking added to the podcast today?
Can we just do one at a time every now and then?
Very overwhelming for our friend Jesse to put the polls up here.
Keep talking though. You don't why do you guys always pause when I'm in the middle of
Because it's funny. No, but I'll go to Zach on this because obviously it's a big deal for you.
By the way, hey Mike, do you think that Rinaldi's Italian Deli in Phoenix, Arizona, is owned by Tom Rinaldi?
Why would he own that?
Because it's his name.
Do you think because it's for Rinaldi's Italian Deli in Phoenix and Tom Rinaldi, they're like brothers or something? Like they own the deli and they actually get together every year for the Rinaldi Deli convention and usually held in Tempe, and they get together, they have some cold cuts for lunch, and then they have the Rinaldi relay race, and then they go out in Old Town Scottsdale at night, and they get together for the hangover brunch at Rinaldi's Deli the next morning, and then Rinaldi goes to do his next sad story. Yes, this is a true statement. Every year, right before college football. It's actually Labor Day weekend every year.
I think they're like brothers or something. I'll go to Zach.
There, Jeremy just ruins the entire thing. So we had Zach doing a really good Princessa there, and then Jeremy comes in with whatever that was.
I'm a relative Northeast person, so Jeremy muted himself. All right. Well, let's dive into Mack Jones because that's kind of the next thing on our rundown here. I'm curious to hear what you guys think as fans of not the Patriots. I'm in favor of it. I think when we look back in 20 years after he wins 5 Super Bowls in New England, that, we'll look back on these joint practices, Patriots fans will, at least. I don't think anyone else will care. We'll look back on these joint practices with the Giants, where Cam was out because of COVID protocol and Mack really impressed against a decent defense. I don't know the Giants are that good, but I think we'll look back.
Oh, God, they got that Williams guy up the middle. Oh, my God, that guy is so good. He kills the football team.
Yeah, he is something. But this is where we'll kind of look back is where Mack took the job. And, they were worried about kind of the rushing stuff with Mack. Like, could he be as good with his legs as Cam is? And I think once they kind of realized the answer is yes, at what point, like, what are you doing to keep Cam around versus just kind of having Mack ready to play week 1? I also think Cam wanted to be the starter for the whole year or didn't want to be on the team. And so I think he kind of asked to be cut. And I just don't think there's a lot of trade value. So the Pats couldn't really do that. I almost said Sox. It's the Pats.
I'm
happy they're rolling with Mack.
I also think the cutting Cam Newton. First of all, I think going with Mack is the better move too, because I'm kind of out of this whole camp of, let's just wait and see with rookie quarterbacks. Maybe we'll start them week 6, like whatever the Bears are doing with Justin
Mack's
Fields.
ready right now.
And Justin Fields is easily the best quarterback on that roster. Anyway, that's a different discussion. So I like that the Patriots are starting Mack. And I think that the Cam Newton release also was a little bit of like a mind game where it's like, Mack, we have confidence in you. We don't need Cam Newton anymore. You're our guy. Go out there and win it for us. We have all the confidence in the world in you. I think it was like partially that too. And so I think the moves, they didn't have to explain the moves to me personally.
These are really my last thoughts of the day for the show. But Ron Rivera today, and I think Mack was the right pick. I think Mack Jones is going to be the second best quarterback from the draft after Justin.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but.
Yeah, well, you think that Zach Wilson's going to be good.
I also think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be good.
He's going to be the third best, and then you're going to have
Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are the two best players from this draft.
Then you have Trey. No, you're colossally wrong on that, Jeremy.
Justin Fields better than.
I hate to break it to you, Jeremy, but I do think that Micah Parsons is going to be really good.
Depends.
I agree.
If he can keep the off the field concerns, to a minimum, then I think he's going to be.
The off the field concerns are really locker room concerns. It's if he can get along with his teammates. That's really
the slightly off the field concerns, the just left of the field concerns, or maybe it's right of the field. I don't know where the locker room is located in AT&T Stadium, aka Jerry World, formerly Cowboy Stadium.
Jesse, Ron Rivera, hurry.
Ron Rivera said that he's got some news that he wasn't going to share at the press conference today. So I think that Cam Newton is going to become a member of the Washington football team, which I'm not excited for at all.
Why?
I could see it.
Because he's not vaccinated. Our coach is a cancer survivor. And I think that Cam Newton doesn't have a shoulder anymore. Like, he can't throw the ball. His throwing motion is different than it used to be.
It's always been the same. It's always looked like he can't throw.
Well, he used to be able to throw at least a little bit. So I don't like the prospect of him on the team. I think that we roll with the 3 guys that we have and, decide.
Draft someone next year.
Trade for someone next year, sign Aaron Rodgers.
That's going to do it. I guess we'll go to the polls real quick and then we'll wrap up. Jesse, you have the polls ready because you don't usually.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you're the one who usually does it.
Okay, let's start with. Let's start with.
Wait, hold on. Before we go, I just want to say I've been watching Bachelor in Paradise for the first time ever, and
it's great.
This might be the best reality show I have ever watched in my entire life. And it's not like, so I've watched previous seasons like a little bit and I haven't liked it. I tuned in this season. This might be the best cast of any reality show, anywhere ever. There is a person yelling at the ocean at least once an episode.
That's standard day 28 of Survivor stuff.
I just want Abigail to be happy. Okay, we'll start with August 29th. Is iMessage Darts a video game? And I was destroying Jeremy in this. 60% yes.
You beat me twice out of 3 times, Jesse.
Yeah, but like the last time was literally a mic drop.
And then how many times did I beat you in the basketball game though?
It doesn't matter. I beat you in.
I beat you 10 times in that basketball game. Continue.
Okay. More annoying, the Mets or Met fans? 100% Met fans.
Met fans.
Is fancy like now in an actual Applebee's commercial, the worst TikTok trend ever. 50-50. Never happened before. I'm sure you guys have heard that dreadful song.
Fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Da, 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 da.
I asked Jeremy what genre he thought that song was, and he said spoof. Is September an underrated month? I think people talk about October more, but I like September. It's a good month. 75% yes. where is Hornibrook 50-50? You know, it happened before, but still hasn't happened before. Am I the Bill Walton of this generation? 67% yes. Does the Tom Rinaldi story uplift you? 67% no. And then the last poll, does Jesse's ice rattling help the show? 50-50.
1 second they're breaking down like Clemson versus South Carolina State, and then the next second they're talking about a 5-year-old that has cancer. It doesn't uplift me. I'm sorry.
Not really. It's a good story though. It's good storytelling.
Oh, it's good storytelling, but
he's great at his job. Yeah. You can find all those polls on @OTBasePath on Twitter. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Outside the Base Path podcast. For Jesse Morrison, Zach Kaplan, and Max Bechtold, I'm Jeremy Schnell.